Welcome to the History AI podcast, where the past comes alive with facts, anecdotes, and a dash of humor. Here are your hosts, Chuck and Marco.
Hello, and welcome back to the History AI podcast. I'm Chuck.
And I'm Marco. Chuck, do you know what you get when you cross a bear, a coonskin cap, and a sharpshooter?
I'm guessing we're talking about today's topic. The legendary Davy Crockett.
Bingo! Today, we're diving deep into the life of Davy Crockett, the iconic American frontiersman, soldier, politician, and, well, everything in between.
The man who once said he was born on a mountaintop in Tennessee. Let's unravel the myths and learn the truths about this American legend.
Davy Crockett was born in 1786, but not on a mountaintop. He was actually born in Limestone, in East Tennessee. His parents were John and Rebecca Crockett.
The Crockett family, originally from France, came to America in the early 1700s. They faced their fair share of frontier challenges, from Indian raids to the struggles of settling new lands.
Davy wasn't exactly born with a silver spoon. He had a rough and often challenging upbringing. But these challenges gave him the resilience and skills that would define his life.
Speaking of skills, didn't Davy claim to have killed his first bear when he was only 3?
Well, that might be stretching the truth a bit, but he certainly became an expert marksman and hunter as he grew up.
Beyond hunting, Crockett had an uncanny ability to charm people with his wit, humor, and storytelling. He was basically the OG influencer of his time.
That's right. And it wasn't just bears and deer that were drawn to him, but people as well.
Now, one of the defining moments in Crockett's life was his service during the Creek War. It was a part of the larger War of 1812, pitting the U.S. and allied Native American tribes against the Red Stick Creeks.
Davy joined the militia in 1813 and served under Andrew Jackson. While many see Jackson as the face of that conflict, Crockett's role shouldn't be overlooked. He took part in critical battles like Tallahatchie and played a significant role in the American victory at Horseshoe Bend.
Through these experiences, Crockett saw firsthand the complexities of frontier warfare and the challenges of America's westward expansion.
Wave goodbye to sugar-loaded boosts and say hello to Strike Force Energy. The energy drink additive revolutionizing how you power up, all without a single calorie or sugar. Just a squeeze, and you're set for action. Ready to make the switch? Visit strikeforceenergy.com. And for our listeners, spark your savings with an exclusive 20% discount. Just use code UTSALAX24 at checkout. Remember, UTSALAX24. Strike Force Energy, elevate every sip.
From the frontier to the floors of Congress. Did you know, Chuck, that Crockett served 3 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives?
I did. It's said he was as sharp with his words as he was with his rifle.
His political position was kind of unique. He wasn't afraid to disagree with his own party and even opposed many of Jackson's policies, especially the Indian Removal Act.
And that's what made him stand out, his genuine concern for the rights of the common man and the Native Americans.
Which brings us to the final and perhaps most famous chapter of his life, the Texas Revolution.
After a few political losses and feeling a bit disillusioned with Washington politics, Davy set his sights on Texas. He famously declared, "You may all go to hell, and I will go to Texas."
Now that's a mood. And while in Texas, he joined the fight for independence against Mexico. This, of course, led him to the Alamo in 1836.
The 13-day siege at the Alamo is legendary. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Crockett and the defenders held their ground against the Mexican forces led by General Santa Anna.
But the specifics of Davy's death are a bit murky. Some say he died fighting, while others suggest he was captured and executed.
It's one of history's mysteries. But regardless of how he met his end, his bravery and spirit became symbols of resistance and American courage.
Even after his death, Crockett's legend continued to grow. He was immortalized in plays, books, and even a Disney series.
And his coonskin cap became a fashion statement in the 1950s. Who would have thought?
Plus, his legacy is more than just entertainment. His life story teaches us about resilience, standing up for one's beliefs, and the complexities of American expansionism.
Well said, Marco. Before we wrap up, I just have one more question, Marco. If Davy Crockett and Chuck Norris had a face-off, who would win?
Oh, that's a tough one. But remember, Chuck Norris counted to infinity, twice.
True. But Crockett grins down bears. We'll leave that for our listeners to decide.
Thank you all for tuning into this episode of the History AI podcast. We hope you enjoyed our dive into the life of Davy Crockett.
And if you did, don't forget to like, rate, and share the podcast. Your support means the world to us.
Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll catch you in the next episode.